Welcome to game number 2 on Duff TV. NTJFA versus STJFL. Aaron Peach Roberts in the commentary position. We might get Duff. I think we're trying to get a bit of a helper as well to come and provide some support. The girls' 16 game just finished with a comprehensive victory for the most part from the NTJFA, 5 goals. And we have got Duff joining us for a little bit. G'day, Duff.
Yeah, Cathy.
He's still ball on half forward and out of bounds. There might be a ball up here. You got us, Duff? No one reaches it. Out towards Finn. It's shoveled out towards Badcock. Taylor finds it. Scooted too far. It's about 7 degrees. Feels like about 7 degrees as Walker had a good game. The STJFL going to the left-hand side of the screen. That's the scoring side today. As Sal Wesley's hitting us pretty hard. Connor Moy as the STJFL up, smashing their way into the pack at the moment. And we'll have a ball up.
Who's the favourite here, Aaron?
I do like some of the names through the STJFL, but NTJFA have played some games. I know there's the blue and red down south, but yeah, look, I'm happy to sort of see how things play out. Rep footy throws up some different things. There's so many of these players are players that dominate for their club, and a lot of them play around the footy. They're used to chasing the footy, so they've got to organise themselves so they don't get too many players ball watching and ball tracking. Jackson Harrison releases it to the harder part of the ground. Parry turns it around the corner. There's not a lot of space inside. It's not the biggest ground, NTCA ground. And I think that's gone out of bounds on the full. No, it's out of bounds. So early stages, 2.5 minutes gone. There's the NTJFA side, Andy Hazelwood. The captain, Oliver Holmes, is the VC today. There's Fox, who kicked some good goals in the last rep game. Walker goes a second time, throws himself on the footy. Bailey involved for the STJFL. In the white shorts, nice start to this game in relation to the contest, but not a lot of high skill level. Penny out of the air. Will French was on it early. Needs some run, the STJFL. The run and carry not happening. You can see how far that ball was able to get traction with the wind behind it. Trifford lost it. Hayes finds the hands of the tackling arms of Adams. And the ball up right on the 50-metre line, one of the softer part of the ground. Rush ball, rush footy at the moment. And in defence, the STJFL. Short option was interesting. Walker misses him. Dribbles out towards the boundary line. Plays contest with it. Parry doesn't keep it to himself and over the line. There's STJFL's team. Interesting. I think they made a little error there, and they've got Nethery from the girls' game in that list as well. Burden, couple to beat the handball. Burden again. Hayes in defence, and we can hear the wind through. The effects mic, a bit of a shake of the van as well. Bot trying to find Chug, but in defence was the STJFL. Real scrappy stuff early doors. The umpires found a little tag, and actually might be a throw. Yes, it is. And Josh Kirby was best on. In fact, it's not Josh taking it. Best on in the last rep game for the NTJFA. Graham goes wide. There's that left-footed Kirby. Up towards half forward. Radray was first to it, juggling Hayes.
Lively, this guy.
Yeah, that's a good kick. That's a nice passage. That's better. James has it. Too far out. There's a lead in the pocket. He just needs to keep this low. Good lead. Good pass from James. And the defensive work from Babcock wasn't enough. And a shot on goal. That was a good lead. A long lead from Bott. Yeah, it came from the other side of the goal square to get on that one. And he'll have a shot. This is a spot you need to put it right goal post. He's put it to the left goal post and a minor score.
Now you've got a real co-commentator coming in, Ryan Kinder.
Let Ryan get himself set up. That's a disappointing kick out of defence as Josh Parry goes short. It's into the mud. On the ground is Bott again. There's a lot of players around the ball at the moment, at least out the back to Penny.
And no anti-density today on the agenda. Disappointing, I must say.
Yeah, they're not playing the anti-density. I noticed in the first game. Long ball in. It's going to fade though. Big climb at the back. And through for a minor score. And the goal umpire there is rugged up. Duff, I can't believe all these years of you doing footy, you haven't bought a beanie. He owns a beanie, doesn't he, Jerry? About 10, but just doesn't bring it. I thought you're the one who packed his suitcase. I got Ryan Kinder who's just come in. He's done some coaching. He's freezing out there, Ryan. G'day, mate.
Hey, how are you going?
Yeah, good. Welcome aboard. You take your time, get into the commentary box. Thanks for joining us. It's a contested ball out. The umpires pulled the whistle out, and we're going to get I think a free kick here. So it's off half back to Hamilton. He's going to go short up the wing. It's a low ball. You have to keep the ball low today, and it's being chipped off by Walcock. Right, Ryan. I think you're set up now, mate. You're okay?
We're good to go. Gee, it's wet out there.
Yeah, there's some real soft spots, isn't there, around the ground, particularly on the wings. That bit's okay there, but further up's quite soft.
Yeah, so the players will be looking to keep their feet in the wet conditions. The middle of the ground's quite boggy, as we see a great hand pass out of the pack there. And it should be conditions that suit both teams.
So that's holding the footy. So no goal yet, as both teams have struggled to get any continuity going as Walcock off half back, kicks up high to the pocket. It's going to be brought to ground. Rush ball off the pack. I think that's going to be picked up by Moy. He's got a little bit of time. He's slipped over the last minute, Moy. In some trouble and tight spots, Oliver. He rushes the ball off half back, and that's a good kick by the STJFL. They've got further players up the line here. He goes a long searching ball for Adams, and he runs out of space. So good first game. Tough one though, wasn't it, for the girls? It
was a really tough game. I'll tell you what, the Northerners, they really came to play today, and they showed, that footy in Tasmania is in good hands. They were strong over the ball, could move the ball well, and they just left us wanting a little bit.
Yeah. A couple of top-end players thought for the NTJFA were just a little bit stronger, able to drive their bodies through the contest. There's Adams again. That's his second touch. Waiting under a long time was Spears. Now it's at ground level. Players compete for the football. Dash from Walker. He's been great in the early talk. Maybe didn't dispose of it. Free kick. Bailey was there. It is a free kick. It's going to be in the hands of Jackson Chick. Now this is a challenge, I reckon, Ryan. This is a swirly. It's kind of swirly. It's coming from there, straight to that left pocket, but these are tough shots on goal.
A bit MCG-ish.
It certainly, well, it looks a little different. I quite like this ground. It's a nice spot for footy. It is providing problems though at ground level as the grass gets to be a little cut up. There's Chick on goal. That looks good. He got it to the right post and he swung it through in the STJFL with a 2 to 3 goal breeze, you think, Ryan, at the moment?
Yeah, it's very, very blustery, so it can give you... Well, we thought it was going to be a 5-goal breeze, but it'd pick up and it'd die down. But he did a great job there. Started at the right post, slid the ball across, and a great kick.
So good start for the STJFL. They have most of the play in the game so far, and they've been able to capitalise with a goal from Jackson Chick. The pressure work around the footy's been great from the STJFL. And there's the first comprehensive passage of football
Well done to Josh Oliver, who started that in the back line. You know, got that ball out wide. They ran it up the wing and finished truly.
You're right about the middle of the ground on the cricket pitch. They had the cover on it, but it's been a bit of a skate park at the moment. High ball out to the left pocket. Race is on. It's going to be the goal kicker. In fact, it's Adams and out of bounds. So when it is these blustering conditions, I did notice the STJFL trying to keep the ball low. What were the other instructions from the coach when it's blustery like this?
It's when you're going with the wind, it's to use it to your advantage. So there were times that we'd say to the girls, look, you know, that dump kick is on. If you can get the ball moving. Otherwise, we're going to try and move it by hands to someone who's free. We talked a lot about being open and closed, which way our body's facing towards the goal. We always want it to go towards the players. We've got the shoulders to the goal.
Yep. Penny was engaged as well as Hoare then. It was nice work from Ashton Hoare as he was able to find some space, but the shot on goal was missed. Off half back here, the NTJFA. So the ground is starting to get a little bit cut up at the moment. This is game number 5 over 2 days, and still 2 more games tomorrow. A little bit of rain overnight, maybe. Parry in the pack. Moy on the outside. Pocket it goes. Under Burden. Can't get it on towards Harrison. He's run out of space and it's out of bounds, left-hand side. So 1 goal on the board for the STJFL and NTJFL, yet to get an inside 50. Jerry, did you went to school with Jerry, didn't you, Ryan?
I went to school, yeah. He used to beat me up for my lunch money.
Oh, of course he did, yeah. Well, you're a principal now, aren't you, Ryan? I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Is it Rugby or Clarendon Vale? Remind me.
Clarendon Vale.
Clarendon Vale, okay.
Great school out there.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time at Clarendon Vale in a previous job, a ripping school. It's off half back here for the NTJFA, and in a bit of strife defending at the moment. There's a lot of balls coming in, but very few that have really provided good options. High ball, climb up, not taken by McKendrick, and out of bounds.
Just looking at the way that the South are setting up their back line there, just to make sure that if the ball does spill out, that they're going to rebound it pretty quickly. And we've got players interchanging, but it looks like they're trying to create a spare player. And that's, you know, if you create a spare player in the back line, you're going to lose one in the forward line. So you've got to rob Peter to pay Paul. It's going to be an interesting tactic.
Well, they play in a zone. I thought they were for a while. It looked like they've all got a player at the moment. The press is sort of the modern style of footy. Take a space and try and prevent the exit from the team. Here it hasn't got away at the moment. Loose ball off Harrison's boot. Penny again. He's had 3 or 4 really decisive touches. Now it's loose. They're trying to get that run off half back here, the NTJFA. Walcock loves to get run. Gets that wide to the pace of Walker. He's aggressive, but STJFL set up in defence, and Verney takes it. Short option's good from Verney.
Using the corridor.
Chud has a couple of options. There's a lead out wide. More direct is the option. That's where it goes. The wind probably got it. It went over the top. Rush handball from Graham. There's Hoare again. Elusive style of footballer. The other number 7, but in the black, is Walker on his knees. He slaps the ball out. Ball comes back out wide. Good contest in front of us. Dumped over the top by French. Might go forward at some stage, French, with the wind. And Carl Ackroyd, who was pretty much best on in the last rep game here, kicked a couple of phenomenal goals, and that was a much different day. That's a dangerous kick with a breeze. I don't know where he's trying to go. Badcock's in some strife. Can Hill get onto it? He lays a tackle, shoveled out by Graham. There's the big body of Bailey coming through. He's got some pressure from Hayes into the pocket out towards Gardner. Loose ball. It's popped into the hands of Bott. Spinning around. That's a good little spot into the pocket. That's a nice little hit up mark by Barwin, who's going to be very tight with his breeze, Ryan.
He might be able to set it up and let the breeze do the rest of the work, hopefully.
Yeah, we saw Poppy kick an unbelievable goal in the girls' game. Sorry, Pixie, I should say. Pixie Stubby's kicked one. I think we already got it on YouTube. Round the corner he goes. And goals easily.
I'm pretty sure there's a gap.
Some courageous play there from the South. Some really good hand passes in tight there. They were corralled for space a little bit, as we see the kick around the body finds the target. But prior to that, when the ball was in contest, the South really put their body on the line. They got those short little hand passes in to create space and let the ball get loose. And look how it's ended up.
Yeah, and it was a good finish by Barwin as well. We'll see him around the corner on his left boot. Very comfortable in the end. And the short goalposts here at the NTCA ground, the goal up having no problem. So ball up. We are on the far side for the ball up. The wings are in the game straight away. It's curious. We see that this time of year as grounds start to try and get the ball away from the middle. Is there different stuff you do as a coach to try and cater for that?
I think you've got to, it's just the mindset of your wings. Your winger nearly has to be have that mindset of a midfielder when the ball gets bounced. Other than that, they need just to play their natural game, but try and keep the ball out of the middle. So when your wings are, you don't want your wings crossing the hemisphere of the ground. But when they're standing on that halfway line, if you cut the ground from end to end, it's in the middle of that bog at the moment, so they've just got to be careful.
A bit of geography work there. Might have been one of your favourite subjects, potentially, Ryan, in school. Got it off half-back here with the STJFL. It's in the hands of the very good user in Josh Oliver. He goes right. That's the attacking wing, I think, at the moment. Juggling mark. Is it taken? Yes, it is. So set up well. Most of the attacking moves have come that side of the ground. So the goal kicker bar went into the pocket. Juggled by Bott. It's been paid. He's going to be very tight on the boundary line. And he's going to probably just pop it up to the top of the square. At the back is Adams. And the fist in the end of the behind to the STJFL.
Yeah, it looked like Adams had the sit there, but the ball just carried over his head. The boys will work into it as the game progresses and they get used to the conditions.
So the challenge here for the NTJFA is to kind of get the players around the ball settled. Kirby will need to get involved. And the kicking skills, the STJFL have been really good early. Charles Hill off half-back. Wide ball out to Bott, who's had a stack of the ball early. That kick's not his best. It finds the hands of Gardner, who knocks it over the boundary line.
Interesting to see how the NTJFA will just react to this in the second quarter. The South's had most of the ball. I'm just wondering what their coach is going to, what levers he's going to pull. Has he got anyone in reserve? I think just to counter some of the defensive rebounding football that the STJFL are playing.
Triffett was good, ground level. He's a pressure. Gardner on the ground. He can't win the footy. Scooped out. Kirby, player we called early, probably needs to get a little bit more outside ball. That's the challenge at the moment, is who's going to help Kirby for the NTJFA on that outside. Potentially someone like Andy Hazelwood comes in. He's on the ball at the moment. And finally coming to the ruck is Freebooth. He does somehow he ends up on his knees when he should have been going for the football. Wide ball. The ball's now rushed inside forward 50, very wide, and over for a over for out of bounds.
So we've seen Josh Oliver just creep up from that back line to the half forward flank. Great user of the footy. I wonder what the plans are with him. Are they going to inject him into the midfield? It's going to be an interesting one.
So ball up as they battle in the ruck. Fox couldn't get it. Swooping Gardner. Not really going anywhere at the moment. A lot of players around the contest. They're getting sucked into the footy at the moment. So there's around 15 players close to the footy. Bailey in there. Big fly out of the pack. Couldn't quite get it. Fox couldn't either get a handball out. He comes again. And the girls looked tired in that last quarter. It was a slugfest.
It was. We instructed the STJFL just to keep running, and I think we started to break things open a little bit, but you're spot on. Some of those big clashes and the big tackles, we're really proud of the way that they stuck their tackles. We see the NTJFA make a great move forward. It's a one-on-one competition now. Picks the ball up.
French was good then. He got it off half-back. He'll be a key running around the ball. It's towards Dabno, who needs to get involved. They could bring Dabner up the ground, but he'll be dangerous in that second quarter. Looks like Badcock's on the footy. He's got a big body, but doesn't have the explosiveness that the STJFL players do around the football. So it's up for grabs. Loose handball. Badcock missed it. There's Hoare again. He's been great around the contest. Fabulous kick from Hoare. Run from Triffett. He looks up. Now he drives it towards the forward line. The kick was a little wide. Scooping down Bailey. Tight in the pocket. Bailey. Gee, that was a difficult shot from there. He need to get it wider.
Great use of hands there just to create that loose player, get the kick out straight up the middle. Alan Hall, that's his father. Great job there from
Hall's been good, hasn't he? Which club's he from? I'm trying to get my list here.
Clarence.
Yeah, okay. He's been very impressive early, Hall. Penny's also been good. He's a player who can be important. Hazelwood gets a lot of the footy at NTJFA level, and a nice short up shot to Kirby. the South Launceston product will wheel around onto his left. He'll drive it up towards half forward. It was looking for a lead out from Bartlett. Now it's at ground level. Up there's Bennett. Can't win it. Pushed off the football. Scooping down was Verney. His handball ineffective. Chugged there. Can't win it. NTJFA trying to get it. Scooping on his Woolcock. And just as a siren went, the ball landed in the hands of Ackroyd. He won't have a shot on goal. And it is quarter time in this first of this second representative game. The NTJFA with a victory in the first. Aaron Roberts is in the commentary with Ryan Kinder. We'll have a couple of comments. The goal kicker so far, Zach Barwin, with a really good snap on his preferred left boot. And Chick with a set shot. Couple of comments. We'll have a quick break. Ryan Kinder.
Really got to take your hats off to the half-back line of the STJFL, moving the ball beautifully. They are creating that outnumber, so I'm not sure what strategy that what their coach Matthew Grubb's got in place there, but he has got an extra number around the ball. They're not afraid to hand pass it short and then take on the corridor, which has been great. The NTJFA, they're moving the ball just as well. I think when they kick with the wind, we could see this game level out quite a bit.
Yeah, we're looking for a really good second quarter from the NTJFA. It is a breeze, which is over 25 kilometres an hour. Advantage to the northern end or the left-hand side of the screen. An early advantage to the STJFL 2-4-16 NTJFA. Yet to score. We'll be back in a few moments.
Welcome to IGA, your homegrown Tasmanian supermarket, where you'll always find homegrown Tasmanian value and the friendly homegrown Tasmanian service we're famous for.
Thanks, Simone.
And with more than 80 stores across the state, homegrown Tasmanian convenience is just around the corner, where we are proud to stock hundreds of homegrown Tasmanian products, supporting Tasmanian farmers and producers. And because we're homegrown, we understand the importance of supporting our local community. So next time you shop, visit your local IGA, because homegrown is better. Visit igataz.com.au to find out more.
Brighton's best Backhouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's best Backhouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's best Backhouse. Love that homemade taste.
Second quarter action, Duff TV. There's a nice shot across the ground as the leaves are hanging on for dear life as the southeasterly is knocking most of them onto the ground. Aaron Wright's Ryan Kendry just getting himself set up. He's got some notes. I don't know what he's going to tell us, but anyway, the ball's at ground level again. The NTJFA are going to the left-hand side of the screen. They have the wind advantage, but the STJFL had the first entry. Dash from Hoare. And the wind has done something ordinary to it, out of bounds and a full.
Looked like that was on track there, just got carried away.
Well, I looked down for a second and looked up, and it was a long way to the right. All right, so we're back into, was looking for Fox, who had to get involved. Slinged off. Penny didn't get his boot to it. The umpire finds a free kick, gives it away, and Fox will have it off half back. Short options on, but he decides he's going to pop it up. Dabner in there. Here comes Ackroyd. Couldn't get it and over the boundary line.
Great lead from Ackroyd. That started from the forward flank. He made it all the way to the wing. Just shows his determination, and he wants the ball in his hands.
Yeah, Dabner Ackroyd will have to get involved in this quarter. They'll play off half forward, and they'll need Fox to start getting busy around the footy as well. Set up that well, though, the NTJFA, that stoppage. And there's the spin of Penny. He'll get it again. Dries out of that half forward position, but the kick's poor and out of bounds. At the moment, they look lively around the ball, don't they? The STJFL. You know, Hoare's been great. Penny also been really good.
Yeah, just got good numbers to the contest. Their systems and processes seems to be working for them at the moment.
The simple stuff is what's needed sometimes when it's a little soft underfoot. It's a ruck's battle. The right hand of Triffett was good. And there's that Penny name again. We'll call him a little bit today. He was on tight in the pocket, couldn't get it. Penny a second time. Handballs indiscriminately. James dishes it. It's come back in out towards McKendrick. Has a juggle, gets some run on the inside. Great tackle. And I don't reckon Nichols got away with it, and it's been holding the footy. So defensive pressure was fantastic from Moy. So Connor just on centre wing to the true flank position. I reckon there's a little hold. It's potentially a free kick to Bott. Yes, it is. And he'll get it into the pocket. It's an okay kick. Hamilton has it. In fact, it's not Hamilton. Might be. Is the left foot at Barwin? It is. He's going to pop it up to the top of the square. The STJFL numbers around the ball. And in the end, a comfortable mark. And they're going to have their second direct shot on goal. And they're first in this second quarter.
I was just going to say, great. The STJFL are really trying to play in front there, but we just saw the big fella just slide off the back of the pack. He read it better and took the big grab.
So Barwin, who's kicked a goal, he'll be very deliberate on his approach. I reckon he's got it through. He has. He's got two. So Zach Barwin with his second of the match. One was a snap from the left pocket, and the other was an easy set shot from straight in front.
Great work there. He just read the play so well. The ball came in high. That pack formed, and he just slid off the back of it and kicked truly. He's going great guns for Clarence in his club footy as well. Really making a name for himself, the young Barwin. So we'll expect plenty more from him. And the NTJFA may just have to put a bit more thought into that as the ball gets bounced up.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and work out how they stop this ball movement at the moment, how they put a bit of a block on Penny. He goes back a second time, and the run off half back by Dakota. He's going to go again. There's Moy. He's had plenty of the footy. Gets tackled. I reckon that's nearly holding the footy. He had a chance to dispose of it, so can they build from here? So off half back is Holmes, the vice captain for the NTJFA. He goes up the line. It's a good-looking ball. He's trying Badcock. It's now at ground level. He's contending with his own teammate. Bartlett in there. Misses him. Goes past Moy. Comes back out to Holmes and over the boundary line in front of Hoare. A lot of ball on that side. Did you talk to your girls around the attacking side of the ground? It's sometimes hard when you come to a bit of a venue you don't know.
Yeah, it is. We're a bit worried about the boggy patches on the commentary side of the ground, which is the other side of the ground now. But it seems to have dried out well. And I'll tell you, it's working out for the STJFL. And I think a lot of the goals in the other games were scored along this end as well.
Yeah, most of the goals scored this end. Allen gets around. Ball's smothered. Run from McKendrick was good a minute ago. Now it's been pinched out of the pack. A high ball up towards the pocket. Some work here from Clements, and that's, I think, touched the behind post and out of bounds. So we have a ball up here. The boundary umpire was a long way behind the play then, and that was rushed from a turnover from. And Nate had a chance. So they'll get into the ruck. Fox will compete. He gets front position. He can nearly take this out of the pack. The punch came over the top. Pressure applied by Woolcock. High ball up, floating for Bott. Comes to ground level. Clements in there. Good little shovel handballs, trying to find Holmes on the run. Bott's given away a free here. It's going to be in the hands of Oliver Holmes. He's 55 from goal. I don't know what he was doing. I think he was trying to kick it further afield, and he stubbed his toe and it's been picked off by Dakota. Jonty out wide and out of bounds.
Just noticed off camera there, the NTJFA setting up beautifully. They're really putting the pressure, and they want to keep the ball in their forward half.
So the NTJFA yet to score in the second of these 2 rep games, 2-14 games tomorrow. Fox jumps high. He tried to get it to a running teammate. That's good. Bashed him off. Woolcock got it. Now it's to Kirby. His left boot is delicious usually. Kirby gets the Northerners away with a running left foot bomb from 45 metres. Wonderful handball from the side from Woolcock, and a good start to this second quarter.
Great chain of possession. 2 quick little hand passes opened up Kirby. He had plenty of time, plenty of space, and I think that right foot of his just made it home, which we see the ball comes out here. Great hip and shoulder. Ball comes out. Free player, open shoulders, gets it onto that, left foot, and hits the, nearly hit the bottom of the post, but just made it through. That umpire, she's not going to miss anything with those glasses.
Well, there's some good shades on there, aren't they? That's not Eshays wear those. I'm not sure. I'm sure you deal with a few Eshays out at Clarendon Vale.
No, mate, no Eshays out there.
They're all in the city in the mall, are they? Anyway, maybe Rosny. So we're just counting the numbers here, are we? I think we've got to have 1 extra player in the middle. They're trying to work it out. On the ball at the moment, it's Bartlett. He's going to go all the way to the other end of the ground. They didn't count their numbers. And we watched Parry do the run of shame. He was in the wrong spot. He gets sorted. And we're back again. Bartlett misses it. Dakota was in there. First possession out by the NTJFA. Long run from Hazelwood. Can't compete. Gets the ball to ground level. There's a player who's involved a minute ago. Number 13, Woolcock, who's had a couple of touches and out of bounds.
There's a spring in the step now of the Northerners. They're looking just a little bit more ready to accept the ball and win the ball. And we can see that their coach is ringing the change. We've got players coming off and on the ground, just out of shot there. But they are up and about. Their voice is great too. We can hear it through the effects mics. They are really encouraging each other and also giving direct instruction, which is great.
Zeman was in the ruck. He got first touch of the footy. Somehow squeezing that ball out of the pack. It's up towards the skate park.
That is a dodgy bit of the ground. Gets his kick away just towards the wing. Overrun, picked up, kicked forward. Great mark there by Jonty Dakota from the Magpies. He's going to go a little bit wider. Doesn't really work for him. Picked up by the Northerners. They go backwards to go forwards. I don't mind that at all. That's a great way to get the ball. But they've lost it. And it's going forward to Lincoln Penny. Kicks round on his right foot, hit into the hot spot, big hands, can't quite get it. Ball just sits dead, and it's a pack forms, and no one can get it away. I thought the South were just about ready to go there, as Peaches gets his voice back. How you going?
No, they're all good, Ryan. I just had a little cough then, a little reminiscence of Coldroff, half-back. Good job. Reece Penny now for the NTJFA. His left boot's a shocker. Nearly actually worked though. Hayes was lurking for the footy. Dash now from James. It's on to the dangerous Oliver. His kick's poor though. It's going to float towards the boundary. A quick kick off the goal. Gee, that came from nowhere in the left pocket and a minor score. Good dash. I don't know, the wind feels like it's just dropped a minute at the moment, Ryan. I'm thinking it was 25, 30 degrees at different stages. It's now under 20 degrees, so it has slowed up. It's gone over the back of the pack. It's found Will French. He turns the corner, gets it up high. Not a very effective kick though. High tackle. I reckon on Moy. It's going to get a free. No, he's not. The umpire says he didn't initiate the contest. In fact, that was Adams in last. Woolcock there as well. Right hand up. No one can win it down. Ground level now. Fumbling was McKendrick when he needed to keep it. Goes again. There's Kirby. His boot gets a little bit of distance up the ground. Clever hands by Hazelwood. He tried to find some run from Nicholas. He couldn't get it. A lot of STJFL players lurking around the football. Dakota trying to get it. Yeah, they're really crashing and bashing. It has lifted though, hasn't it, a little bit? Both sides smashing into the packs at the moment.
It has. The NTJFA, their midfield setups and around the ball and the ruck are really starting to tighten up as we see the ball fall to ground.
Chug was good then. He held firm in the pack. It's out wide. Still in play? No, it's gone out of bounds in front of Bot. There's the sponsors. Thanks to IGA, Bennett's Petroleum, Mood Food, Brighton Best Backhouse, AFL Tasmania 2. 1 zip to 3-5. A 17-point lead right on centre wing. A little push in the shot in the pack on Fox, not called. That was okay. It was probably in the side. Dakota in there. Rush ball out straight into Fox. Now it's been chipped out on towards Spears. Rushed up towards half forward. 2-on-2 contest. Missed by Hamilton. He now goes back up again. Tries to dish it out. Finds a run of Oliver. High ball up towards a half. Couple of NTJFA players around it. Missed by Rattray. Goes in and tries to win it again. We'll have a ball up. Yeah, the wings are slippery this side. There's a couple of really soft spat, and even just close to the boundary line. Here isn't Ryan. It's very soft on this side of the ground.
Yeah, I wouldn't be bouncing the ball, that's for sure.
No, they're happy to throw it up these days, the umpires. Missed again by Spears. Umpires found a little hold. It's going to go to the STJFL and just off centre wing. So Bot's had a lot of touches. It's a good kick from Bot to the middle. Over the back was Adams. He had a runner on. He gets his left boot wide again. It's a high ball. Finds James. He drops the first mark. Then he gave away a high tackle. Not called. Gardner goes again. Pinched around onto Penny. Penny can't. Gets a second time. Spinning was Hayes. Ran back into strife then Hayes. And he went to ground. Walk up. Brilliant. Got around one. Popped into the spin cycle and popped it very high into the air. No one's going to mark that. Now it finally comes to ground. The left hand of Harrison. At the back of the pack, the STJFL set up really well. Right into the pocket. STJFL with numbers. Creeping onto it. I think that was Bot. And he's put it across. And a minor. Frenetic footy.
It is. The pace of it is absolutely, it's huge at the moment. It's. I'm just wondering, is it going to be a battle with which team is the fittest?
It's a good shout. I think these heavy grounds do tend to create some issues with the aerobic
Great
work.
mark.
Yeah. Needs to be involved. French. He's going to go middle. That's a good aggressive kick. That Miss Walker. There you go. There you see how difficult it is. Kirby looks up. He's got a bit of muddy on the end of the Sherrin. He just kicks it to space. Walker's got some run to do. First down is Smith. Slips over. Handball over the top. And that's going to be a free kick. It is. I think Walker's got it, has he? He does have a free kick, so sloppy play. But he made the play then, Walker. The handball was good from Nicholas, and he definitely got taken high.
As we can see there, the NTJFA, they just pushed back with real purpose and real venom. And I think the Southerners, they had to land a free kick, because otherwise it was going to be just a goal.
It was Kirby's drive off half back as well, getting that ball forward into some space. You're right, the NTJFA, that once the ball was out the back, the STJFL were in trouble, and Walker was infringed on his shoulder, also was taken across his chest. He'll kick from 25, he'll kick true. And he has a couple of mates just in the grandstand, we can see.
He's given the wind up to the crowd. He's gone, come with me, fellas, come with me.
Jack Walker with his first, and the NTJFA get their second and close the gap to 2 goals.
How good was that kick into the 45? I know it's muddy, but just to take that risk, and it cut down all that wing play. They went straight up the highway, straight to goal, and it really worked for him.
The other thing that hurt was one of the STJFL players who was running through the middle, just slipped over like he was on a banana peel in a cartoon. Ended up on his backside and realised the ball had suddenly got past him, and Kirby had it in his hands.
That's a very good way to describe it. Like a baby giraffe learning to walk.
Absolutely. Got the ruck contest again. Either player got it down. Tackle laid by Bailey, and it's going to be a free kick, is a little high. McKendrick's getting a little bit of the ball now for the NTJFA. He kicks the ball wide. Punch from the behind from Verney. Can't get it. Ground level Penny for the NTJFA. Got a couple of duplicate names here. That's good work. It's been pinched by Nicholas, and a free kick given away. A hold after that ball was released, and Moy has it.
Really important couple of minutes now for the STJFL. They need to settle and take back the momentum.
Well, they've been set. You're right about them being set up really well, the NTJFA. They've closed it down, and they're preventing any exit then from the STJFL. And I think the I reckon it's really hard, Ryan, because they are trying to avoid the middle of the ground, but sometimes you just got to go there, don't you?
Yeah, you've got to roll the dice, take that risk.
Try and hit up someone, haw at ground. dribbles, comes off his shin. He's still going Hoare. He's actually got the ball 30 metres towards NTJFA goal. Spears missed it. He'll try to tap it off his ground. Tackle was great from Will French. Ball up 20 metres out from goal.
He wasn't going to let the ball out there. As we see, the mid's been instructed not to get into there. A little bit of push and shoving. Ball goes up. Great hands. Sloppy kick out. Who's this?
Yeah, they're off half back now, the STJFL. And it's out towards, they've got some runners now. It's on to Chick, who kicked a goal in that first quarter. He's kicked it right out into space. It's probably going to advantage the NTJFA. Graham didn't dispose of it. The umpire was friendly and didn't blow the whistle.
There's no one in the forward 50 there for the STJFL.
And it was one out by Dakota. He tried to get it further afield to Adams. He couldn't win it. Late was Moy. Slipped over when he needed to keep his feet. Swing around was Dakota. Now it's rushed. It's on to Penny. Great battle across with McKendrick. He goes again. Maybe got hold without the footy. Then gets his head taken off his shoulders and will win a free kick.
Great bit of desperation there. Lincoln Penny from the Kingborough Tigers. Great club down south, the Twin Ovals. He'll be looking to slot this one. Did lose his head nearly.
Didn't he ever?
Yeah.
And he made sure his whole body swung back, but it was a sloppy tackle.
And I know his grandfather's watching. He's not feeling too well at the moment, so if he kicks this one, it might actually get him off the couch.
Oh, that'd be good. Best wishes to Lincoln's grandfather, and that is spot on. Penny deserves a goal. He was the one who made the contest, got the footy, and then nearly lost the blot and lot off his chop.
Didn't that one go against the grain of play? All the momentum was with the NTJFA. One little tackle, and STJFL bring the ball out to this broadcast wing. A great long kick, coupled in with a couple of sneaky little hand passes, albeit the ball ended up with Penny, who got his head ripped off. Still some great play.
Yeah, it's evened up, but that was, as you're right, 4-6 to 2 straight. Inaccurate kicking from the STJFL. He hasn't helped them at all. Zeman involved. He then butters it up, high ball in, over the top of Adams. Now it's at the ground. Out wide was James. He couldn't win it. Burden in there. He gets pressure applied to him. The setup at the back well here. Rattray got it, and he fumbled. Little hole. That's going to be a free kick to NTJFA. And it's going to be taken by Hayes. Will he cross the play? He's got Walker leading. He ignores him. He's going to go back up the line. It's a good kick. And it's been held up by McKendrick, who's been one of the more aggressive players. He did have Walker further afield if he wanted to go the 45. The STJFL just off half forward now. They've got plenty of players lining up for the football. Chick's got it. Short by him. Great kick by Chick. And a juggling grab by Bailey.
That kick to Chick, that really opened the game up, and he measured his kick beautifully. That was into the wind, so he had to keep it low. Look, as we see, come across here, all by himself, takes a chest mark, quick enough to think to play on. There's a bit of space there, and great grab.
This is a tough shot. He's going to have to probably put it a little bit to the left of the middle of the goals. That's good. That's very good. In fact, look at the breeze has dropped down. That is spot on. And the STJFL respond with a couple of goals. It's about as good a set shot, isn't it, Ryan, as you'll get.
Played it really, really well. He knew the conditions. He watched the ball onto his boot. If it's a bit windier, you've got to hang on to the ball just a little bit longer, just to not let the ball drop from your hands to the feet with momentum there, so it can get pushed away by the wind. But the STJFL, they've really just turned, ever since we've mentioned that momentum switch, I reckon they're listening to us on the bench. They seem to have lifted it up and found that extra gear as we watched the ball go up again.
Yeah, in the rucks, Doyle been really good. He's got his first hand sort a couple of times. He's now grappling for the footy, so he was the initial one who started it, and he's back at ground level. He's fighting with McKendrick. Fox goes up, misses him. Doyle got it again. Off half back, Holmes had it for the NTJFA. High ball up, spilt by Nicholas. And a ball up.
Do like the NTJFA jumpers. They've got the collars. Great design.
Yeah, this is the 50 years of NTJFA strip, the heritage strip. They usually have the blue and red on their Guernsey traditionally, but they've gone this traditional black colour, which is the original Guernsey of the NTJFA. Walker with space and pace, but eventually gets pulled down into the mud. He's disappointing at the handball away. Great defensive work.
A little bit unlucky there. What a great pickup.
And we see here on the replay, it was a terrific grab, wasn't it? He was being harassed though, unfortunately. Difficult one. Ackroyd off half back. That's where he finds himself. So a bit of an example of what Nathan Howe's looking to do. Walcott has some run. Kirby, right, left boot. Well, it looked good. It went over the top of French, and the siren sounded once again as things were rushing forward, and French just having some words to say as Kirby settles it down. But there's a score, 2 straight 12. So 2 goals with the Breeze in that quarter. But unfortunately, some goals against the Breeze by the STJFL. A couple late. Bowen with 2, Penny with 1, Bailey and Chick also with a goal, Kirby and Walker for goals for the NTJFA. A couple of our sponsors, IGA, McDonalds, Tassie Hawthorn, we'll call them, Sherrin, LRF and AFL Tas. A couple of words from you, Ryan Kinder. We'll have a bit of a break.
Yeah, Nathan Howard will be. I think he'll be happy with how they defended that quarter. Their defenders were defending with their chests towards their goal, which means they weren't running backwards, watching the ball sailing over their heads. They kept their shape. They kept their poise. Some great kicking from the STJFL just to slice the ball around to find those open players. Both coaches, I think, are going to be very, very happy with how their teams are going. I still think this is anyone's game. The Breeze is a bit fluky. The Breeze is a bit tricky at the moment, so I'm hoping that the footy's only going to get a bit better.
Yeah, so there's the narrative as the STJFL team come off. They're going into the sheds, and the NTJFA are going to stay on the ground in the sunshine. It's about 12 degrees maybe, but it's more like feel like 7 degrees at the moment here in the Northern Capital. Have a break on Duff TV. The advantage to the STJFL, but still plenty to play in representative STJFL, NTJFA football. I quite like this ground. It's a nice spot for footy. It is providing problems though at ground level as the grass gets to be a little cut up. There's Chick on goal. That looks good. He got it to the right post and he swung it through, in the STJFL with a 2-3 goal Breeze, you think, Ryan, at the moment?
Yeah, it's very, very blustery. So.
It's popped into the hands of Bott, spinning around. That's a good little spot into the pocket. That's a nice little hit up mark by Barwin, who's going to be very tight with his Breeze, Ryan.
He might be able to set it up and let the Breeze do the rest of the work, hopefully.
Yeah, we saw Poppy kick an unbelievable goal in the girls' game. Sorry, Pixie, I should say. Pixie Stubby's kicked one. I think we already got it on YouTube. Round the corner he goes. And goals easily.
I'm pretty sure there's a gap.
Some courageous play there from
Barwin. It is. He's going to pop it up to the top of the square. The STJFL, no, numbers around the ball. And in the end, a comfortable mark. And they're going to have their second direct shot on goal. And they're first in this second quarter.
I was just going to say, great. The STJFL are really trying to play in front there, but we just saw the big fella just slide off the back of the pack. He read it better and took the big grab.
So Barwin, who's kicked a goal, he'll be very deliberate on his approach. I reckon he's got it through. He has. He's got 2. So Zach Barwin with his second of the match. One was a snap from the left pocket. And the games, 2-14 games tomorrow. Fox jumps high. He tried to get it to a running teammate. That's good. Bashed him off. Walcott got it. Now it's to Kirby. His left boot is delicious usually. Kirby gets the Northerners away with a running left foot bomb from 45 metres. Wonderful handball from the side from Wilcock. And a good start to this. It's got some run to do. First down is Smith. Slips over. Handball over the top. And that's going to be a free kick. It is. I think Walker's got it, has he? He does have a free kick, so sloppy play. But he made the play then, Walker. The handball was good from Nicholas, and he definitely got taken high.
As we can see there, the NTJFA, they just pushed back with real purpose and real venom. And I think the Southerners, they had to land a free kick, because otherwise it was going to be just a goal.
It was Kirby's drive off half back as well, getting that ball forward into some space. You're right, the NTJFA, that once the ball was out the back, the STJFL were in trouble, and Walker was infringed on his shoulder, also was taken across his chest. He'll kick from 25, he'll kick true. And he has a couple of mates just in the grandstand, we can see.
He's given the wind up to the crowd. He's gone, come with me, fellas, come with me.
Jack Walker. It's on to Penny. Great battle across with McKendrick. He goes again. Maybe got hold without the footy. Then gets his head taken off his shoulders and will win a free kick.
Great bit of desperation there. Lincoln Penny from the Kingborough Tigers. Great club down south, the Twin Ovals. He'll be looking to slot this one. Did lose his head nearly.
Didn't he ever?
Yeah.
And he made sure his whole body swung back, but it was a sloppy tackle.
And I know his grandfather's watching. He's not feeling too well at the moment, so if he kicks this one, it might actually get him off the couch.
Oh, that'd be good. Best wishes to Lincoln's grandfather, and that is spot on. Penny deserves a goal. He was the one who made the contest, and it's been held up by McKendrick, who's been one of the more aggressive players. He did have Walker further afield if he wanted to go the 45. The STJFL just off half forward now. They've got plenty of players lining up for the football. Chick's got it. Short by him. Great kick by Chick. And a juggling grab by Bailey.
That kick to Chick, that really opened the game up, and he measured his kick beautifully. That was into the wind, so he had to keep it low. Look, as we see, come across here, all by himself, takes the chest mark, quick enough to think to play on. There's a bit of space there, and great grab.
This is a tough shot. He's going to have to probably put it a little bit to the left of the middle of the goals. That's good. That's very good. In fact, look at the breeze has dropped down. That is spot on. And the STJFL respond with a of the NTJFA. Walker with space and pace, but eventually gets pulled down into the mud. And he's disappointing at the handball away. Great defensive work.
Welcome to IGA, your homegrown Tasmanian supermarket, where you'll always find homegrown Tasmanian value and the friendly homegrown Tasmanian service we're famous for.
Thanks, Simone.
And with more than 80 stores across the state, homegrown Tasmanian convenience is just around the corner, where we are proud to stock hundreds of homegrown Tasmanian products, supporting Tasmanian farmers and producers. And because we're homegrown, we understand the importance of supporting our local community. So next time you shop, visit your local IGA, because homegrown is better. Visit igatas.com.au to find out more.
Brighton's best Backhouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's best Backhouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's best Backhouse. Love that homemade taste.
Second half action, Duff TV. Representative football at the NTCA ground in the eastern suburbs of Lonnie. Aaron Roberts, Ryan Kinder on air at the moment. The STJFL with the breeze in this quarter. I'm curious, Ryan, what's the NTJFA got to do to stay at least in the contest?
I think they've got to win the ball out of the middle. That's their first challenge, and to make it a bit of a contest, they've got to halve everything, halve every contest, give themselves a genuine 50-50 chance to win the ball. We know that they can do it. We've seen some great dash and risky kicks that have paid off for them to take the corridor on, but I think they've got to grab the game by the scruff of the neck and make it theirs. There's some great players for the NTJFA that we've seen, I suppose, use the ball creatively, and that's what I've got to keep doing. Be creative, take risks, halve the contest when you don't have the ball, make the ground as big as possible when you do, and we're off again.
Yeah, I think the challenge, other than the mud at the moment for Kirby to try and pick it up as he skates on his knees, then he uses his hands just to bash it up, is the pressure around the ball from the STJFL has been elite. It's prevented probably the better players to the NTJFA. Their time's been squashed and they've been able to get it. One of the players has been Hoare. He's right, boots long into the square, and waiting is Barwin, who comfortably takes it and will have a set shot within the opening minutes of the third quarter.
Silky pick up there, finds the running player in Hoare, and he just sends the ball long. I can't understand why they don't have a player on this fella. He's just taken a chest mark at the top of the square, and it looks all like it's going to be beer and Skittles for him. Should be pretty easy, but we never know. He hasn't let us down. He's kicked the goal. Great goal there. What a start. The STJFL would have spoken about that in the rooms, and they've got the exact start that they wanted.
Well, we were watching for ages, waiting for the STJFL to come out in the ground, and they waited for the last siren to sound, the last warning. Didn't make any difference to Ashton Hoare's boot because he bombed it long. And Barwin, who I think Gardner's playing him on at the moment, was unable to get back and defend him, and that's an early punch from the Southerners in this second half action. 40 seconds in, they've already got a goal. Penny's been good. He's in the middle. Number 11 up against Ollie Holmes. He might get it. Penny misses him. Kirby again to the mud. That's a free kick given away, a hold. Nearly need a cloth out there, the umpires, to get rid of the mud like a bowling ball. Scoots down, finds Oliver into the pocket there. Got some players around the footy. Bailey was good. One way, two ways. Steadies the ship. Bot. What a goal. Terrific finish. Stayed on his feet. Got some traction in the mud and delivered a goal.
Get some pats on the back. Well deserved too. Shrugged 2 tackles. Took his time to steady up. As we see that kick in, Oliver's just about to grab it here. Uses his vision. Doesn't quite kick as sweetly as we're used to with Oliver. Great hands around the corner. Shrugs 1, shrugs 2. Takes his time, steadies, drop punt. Right through the hay diddle diddle.
That was fantastic. And Badcock missed tackle. In the end was costly. And there's the brain trust of the NTJFA with some of their players. Freeboost on the fence there. I wonder if he's going to come on and maybe play off half back. But the problems are plenty though. 2 early goals with the wind. It's rolling at about 15 kilometres an hour. Fox can't win it. Hands now from Ackroyd. Spinning through Holmes. Then he gets his right boot awkwardly to it. Lucky up towards half forward. The NTJFA desperate for a response. The long lead was on. Goes towards the pocket. Dabner needs to get involved. Ackroyd around the corner. Right hand side behind.
Positive signs there for the NTJFA. Unlucky with that snap. It looked like it was going in there for a while, and he set himself beautifully as the Southerners play on and kick the ball to the defensive 50.
High ball out. Penny, front position. Can't win the footy. Morgan's there. He gets his shoulder tapped. Releases the handball. Up towards half forward. The back. Clearly Graham was in the advantage spot. He was up against Doyle, who's been really good today. He's now just rolling through the ball at the moment. Good little handball. Hoare from Ryan. Hoare's great. Little chip kicks, even better, into the pocket. Finds Burden. He's 45 metres out. Left-hand side, probably too far. He's looking for a lead. He's just going to chip it up to the top. The fly came from behind from Bailey. Now he's at ground level. 3 NTJFA players to compete against. That's going to go out in the full, unless it's touched. It is, so they're going to have a shot here. The STJFL, I don't know if it's Burden's kick. He's going to claim it, though. He's going to have a shot in the left forward pocket.
Why not? I'd claim it too.
Absolutely. So he's going to try and curl it around with the breeze. Here goes Burden. Geez, he made good fist of it, but it was a bit short and a bit low and a behind.
Charlie Morgan did a great job there in the back pocket with those clean hands out. Then you saw the ball worked up the wing.
So the NTJFA are under some real pressure at the moment. Penny from the NTJFA grappling for the footy on the ground, and the umpire will ball it up. So a couple of early goals from the Southerners have really hurt the NTJFA's chance of competing in this one. Fox can't get it. Scoop comes out. Oliver in there, and free kick off half back for Reese Penny. He looks upfield. No options really. So he's just going to lob it up towards centre wing. Owens wins the footy. Booted off the ground. Babcock was good. Dabner can't get it. Ackroyd as well. Forcing the balls. Kirby. Still fighting for it.
We can see the STJFL, when they don't have possession, they want to make the ground as small as possible for the NTJFA, and they're doing it beautifully. They're not giving them any options.
Well, that time it was Finn in the ruck for the STJFL. Walker's there. He can't win it. Over the shoulder. Bartlett on there. Spinning out. Little flick by Chick. Rushes it up to half forward. Burden. That's going to be holding the ball, isn't it? Didn't think he disposed of it. Burden was aggressive then. Out the back of the pack to Bott. Wide now to Chick. Steady. The last minute the ball came over the back of the pack. Gee, that was going through, I reckon.
Was it an off break or a leg break? It hit the...
No, I think that's an off break. Yeah, no, it hit something, didn't it? That wasn't touched by anyone. That was going through. That's hit the middle of the square. That's gone. That's only gone at right angles. That's unreal. Strange shaped ball. That was a big off break. Anyway, short option was good. Dropped by Graham. Now they get numbers around the footy. Fighting hard was Harrison, and he's on his front and can't go anywhere.
Look at the numbers there that the NTJFA have committed. They are to the contest. They're really trying to organise their mids to make sure that they get their hands on the ball first.
Will Fox has been in a lot of trouble in the back half. Berwick now, he's in trouble as well. That should be a ball up. Didn't really have a chance to dispose of it, but a good tackle. They've been pretty strong around the contest, and we'll have a ball up right pocket. Some fans there all rugged up. Scars and beanies day, Ryan. You've got your shorts on, but I mean, I like your commitment. Like a true teacher, you wear shorts all the way through winter. Can't get the handball out.
It's 35 degrees and sunny in the south this morning.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Pineapples and everything on the eastern shore. Out the back of the pack, Burden. And he misses.
No one's in the... everyone's in the forward half of the ground for the STJFL. We've got no one back, so I wonder if the umpire is going to pick up the end of density rule.
We were talking about that before. I don't know they're playing in these rep games. Short option's okay. Finds Graham off half back. He goes short again. Good build up. Don't see a lot of lateral play from either side there. It's a narrowish ground, not particularly long head, so it's not a big ground, the NTCA ground. On the side was Walcock, trying to get some run off half back. It's a high tumbling punt. They've got it up to half forward. Walker missed it. STJFL well organised. In the middle of the ground was Adams. Penny in there. He decides just to squish French into the ground. That's Will French. And a ball up right in the mud.
If you're going to fall over, that's where you want to fall over. So everyone thinks that you've earned
your day. You've done something. There's Will Fox in the ruck. Misses him. French is in there. Penny off the ground. Parry is there. Can't get it. Now it's up towards half forward. The white shorts, probably a good option initially. Probably didn't need to wear the white shorts. They could have gone the blue. And a ball up. Yeah, who's on the washing duties for the girls' game?
I think our team manager Amanda Chapman was doing that.
Okay.
But one of the girls did say that their mum could do it for them. She works at a laundry.
Okay.
And she charges mates rates. That's how they went.
All right, you get in the laundry, Matt. Burden goes short. That's a good grab. With Bott was high up, and at the very last minute he held onto the football. Comes up a little ginger. We'll have a shot. 30 metres out right-hand side of the goals.
We're seeing how important these chains of possessions are. The NTJFA got a great one, great chain of kicks and hand passes up the ground. The ball did come back, but we're just seeing how important that is as we're lining up for goal.
Very deliberate approach. The umpire is scooting to the other side of the goalpost in a minor score, but 7-10, so 17 scoring shots to 3. It actually doesn't feel like it's that big a gap, but at the moment, certainly STJFL on top.
They are putting a lot of pressure on the ball as it comes out now, and we go.
It's this kick here, isn't it?
Yep.
How many players around the footy, and they're going to get it back again. Great grab up high was Parry. He goes to the middle. There's that switch on. Nice play from Parry. Vernie's got it all by himself. Had a runner go on the outside. He's going to go back towards the pocket, but in defence floating was Nate Clements, who's been a little quiet. He sort of played a bit up forward, Nate. I think he's not a bad backup. Plays the Tamer Cats. I should say the Tamer Demons. Tamer Cats when I played. Penny in the pack. Gets to 55. Drives it up in the back of the pack. Barwin. Easy as it can be. And another mark in the goal square for this man. And his left boot's going to score. He doesn't even muck around as Barwin kicks his 4th.
Great bit of play there, and I think you named up beautiful there, Peaches. Just that lateral kick that came back inside that opened up all the options for the STJFL. You're also right when it's that second kick out of defence. It's really troubling the NTJFA. They can't get their hands on the ball. It's a bit like that Melbourne defence where they're plonking either Stephen May or Max Gawn on the 50 and just really shutting everything down.
Well, they don't have much for Barwin at the moment. I'll get the binoculars out and just have a bit of a look on who's on him at the moment, because he's kicked 4 goals and 2 of them he's been uncontested. He's had I think it might be Freeberth, so he's come back on the ground. He's gone to full back. Spinning around was Kirby. He's been a bit quiet in this quarter. Been able to control him, or Spears loose footy for him. Over the top, Parry. Spears again. Being pinched out of the pack by Adams. There's that aggressive ball back to the centre half. Overhead marks have been fantastic with STJFL. And here's their run. They've moved it quickly inside 450. Went around the body, then Botton. He's lost it. Kirby. Drilling ball. Beautiful.
What a kick. Lowered his eyes there.
Yeah, he's a powerful left boot. Now the high ball happens. The players climb up. Great mark. Hey, Hazelwood. He had a good first quarter. Has been a bit quiet. He's got Graham in the middle. But there's no run from behind here. That Graham's got to slow the pace. Now it finally comes out wide to Hayes. He needs to get on his bike, but he's done a good job here, the STJFL. They've held Walker. He's got a player at the top. He just needs to beat. He can. He's so strong, Walker. Back into the pocket. Might be dabbing it over the back. Unable to take the mark, Hazelwood. Quick shot on goal. Floating underneath and out of the pack. Penny Reese, the variety. And against the run of play, the NTJFA get their 3rd.
Great kick to open up the ground there. Brought the ball back into the middle. Made the STJFL really strain to get there. Ball comes out into the flank, then they kick it back in as we see it here. This possession was crucial. As we go wider to that player, gets caught but manages to stand up through the tackle, composed, ball comes in, nearly a great mark taken, but kind of reefed away, opportunist. We're looking here for that great bounce again, but it didn't. It did happen, it was going through, and then what a pick up there by Reese Penny.
I feel like very much against the run, but that was their best patch of the day, no doubt. There's Hoare, so often streaming out of the middle. Great kick to Bowen. And he's got it again. And he's spent a lot of time in his pocket. We call this the Dudman pocket. And now Barwin's going to have his 4th shot on goal, and this will be a very hurting response from the STJFL.
He's owned that 10 to 20 metres just outside the square, hasn't he? He's made it his, and he's not letting anyone take it off him.
He's close to the boundary line. They're not wide pockets or deep pockets. From 35 metres, it's gone to the near side and a minor. So you're right, the ground has dried, actually, hasn't it? A little bit of breeze and the sunshine, and it has dried up a little bit, and the play has lifted Hayes off back half. He was cut down. Hazelwood underneath it. The fist came over the top. Walker running through. He's been useful around the footy. Out of bounds, centre wing.
Tell you what, they need another Andy Hazelwood out there. If they had two of them just contesting the ball, trying to take the big grabs and then urging it forward, I think things would be a lot different for the NTJFA.
Yeah, he's a great leader, Andy. That's a throw-in that comes out towards Fox. Dabner can't get it. Ground level Hamilton. He stays there. STJFL didn't have numbers around that. Eventually the ball's been released out. There's that man Hazelwood right on call. I don't think he had the footy then, Will French. And suddenly the ball scooted at the back to Ashton Hall. Aggressive kick from Ashton towards the mud pot. Kirby couldn't win it. Nearly in the way. Good tackle. Dabner drags him to the ground. And a ball up. The mud pot had to suck the ball in a few times in this game, but it's just on the edge of it at the moment. Fox has hardly won a touch. He's been competing well, but just unable to get his hands to it. Found a gap, did Zach Taylor. The kick's ineffective. And Josh Oliver just on half back in front of Will French. High one up. There's some strong hands again from Bowen. I reckon he's got his head knocked there, and he'll get a free, will he? No, he won't. So against him. I don't reckon he got rid of it, but they talk about he didn't initiate the touch. But anyway, Walker's best spot. Takes a great grab. Terrific from Walker. He's had a good quarter. He's trying to create some play. It's a dangerous kick, but I like it. To the 45 option. Dabner at the ground. And the release out the back. Finds Nicholas. Rush ball from Nicholas. Charge on here. The handball's the right option. French on the side. Now he gets it. Now it's out a little bit wider. Penny has some time. The goal kicker. Awkward. Left boot's floating. It's reasonable. It's into a dangerous spot. Picked out by Moy. Clears the ball for a bit. Gets it out towards James. Takes his time. Run now off half back. Here come the STJFL. They're streaming forward again. Lead up is Bailey. Kirby in there. Again is Walcock, and the boundary is their friend.
I'll tell you what, you can't doubt the intent of the NTJFA. Those risky kicks into the middle, they're paying off for them now. Well, I hope they keep doing that.
Well, I mean, it's the only way you're going to get a chance to get more goals. You might turn it over like they did then, but it's certainly the avenue forward. And you even hear about teams that are probably talent, maybe not quite as high, still got to take that 45 shot on out the back. Penny taken down. Great tackle by Harrison. And Penny, I should say Hoar's been taken out. Hasn't been beaten who many times, Hoar. So up the line it goes. McKendrick, he dances around. He's got good speed, McKendrick. Gets it back onto his right boot. He goes up towards half forward. It's on the ground to French. At the ball, back out wide towards Badcock. He bashes it high. Walker in the goal square. He just needs to kick it off the ground. He does. Kicks his second goal. It was lucky in the end. But it's been a good 5 minutes here from the Northerners.
Against the run of play there, some great work just to open up some space, get some run in the legs. We're running through that glue pot in the middle. As we see, just that hand pass out, the players got their chest facing the goal, so that's a right option. Find space. Well done to find that space there from Jack Walker, who's featured quite a bit in the last 5 minutes, actually.
Yeah, he's been good, Walker. He started well. And he was in the right pocket a minute ago and won the ball out on a one-on-one contest. He's been very effective. There's that's a free kick, isn't it?
I think the question is, what came first, the incorrect disposal or the big knock on the head?
Maybe that's a fair call. I mean, he definitely didn't dispose of it, but you kind of feel that nearly a throw, I reckon. He was a bit unlucky then, Gardner, and he had Badcock on the outside, who was the one who set up the last goal. So the STJFL will control. That's an aggressive kick. Great stuff. Yeah, Chick's got it. It's good today, Chick. A bit of a wet pass up towards half forward. Penny on the outside. Hall gets to it first. He dashes, dances, gets around Hayes, gets to the pocket. Where's the tall timber? There he is again, and once again he free booth out of position. And Bowen with a very good mark.
Is there a little bit of Tom Hawkins about this fella?
Just stands up tall, doesn't he?
Yep.
And look at the way he just created some space with his body. Gets his 5th goal. What a hole. What a hole. That's fantastic.
And the coach has said, you've had enough.
Get
Come
off, mate. Get off. Go and have a breather. Go and have a rest.
How's that turn from Hoare?
Hoare, probably influential, absolutely. But look at the way he just controlled the space, got low, down low, crouch position, crouching tiger, hidden dragon move. And unfortunately, Wally Freebooth was nowhere near the contest, and a good finish. His goal kicking's been great. So a minute left. It was 4 goals. Well, 2 goals against the flow of the NTJFA. As we mentioned, the wind to the left-hand side. So the goal scoring end is the northern end. Once again, we've got the wrong numbers in the 666. Trying to look around who's meant to be moving. Yeah, it's an NTJFA play. They had one too many in the middle. Unfortunately, the numeric's not working for them at the moment on the scoreboard, or trying to sneak an extra player in the middle of the ground. Kirby off the ground's a good option. Past Hazelwood. I think French laid an nearly high tackle, then we'll have a ball up. So 10 seconds left. They've been charging forward in the dying seconds of every quarter so far. In fact, they nearly had it. There was an extra 30 seconds on the clock in each quarter. They probably would have another 2 goals, the NTJFA. And that's a hooter for 3-quarter time. An exhilarating quarter of footy. The NTJFA had their moments. They kicked a couple of goals, but the STJFL's early work was fantastic. They got a very early goal. Barwin up forward has been fantastic. 5 goals out of 9. A huge contribution for him, and a lot of them have been from really clever marks and fantastic entries from Ashton Hoare and co. Penny's been the other one that's been involved. We have some words from Ryan before we have a quick break. Our last break of today's representative games.
Doesn't feel like a 40-point lead, actually. The footy has been good. I think the boys can be really, really proud of themselves. Both teams have had their moments and showcased their skills, and the crowd have been very, very appreciative of just the intensity and the way that they're going at their footy. There's no one's ducking their head, or no one's shying away from the contest. So I know there'll be some sore fellas after this game, I reckon.
So, yeah, they'll be sore. They've still got to run through that mud pot for a little bit more time. And I don't think there's any games. Maybe the East Lonnie might be playing here next week, but I have a week of recovery, no rain, other than a bit of a shower tonight. So hopefully that freshens up the ground nicely. But it's a lead to the STJFL. It's Zach Barwin with 5 goals to the last break. Let's see what he can do. Maybe he can add to his tally after the last break.
Welcome to IGA, your homegrown Tasmanian supermarket, where you'll always find homegrown Tasmanian value and the friendly homegrown Tasmanian service we're famous for.
Thanks, Simone.
And with more than 80 stores across the state, homegrown Tasmanian convenience is just around the corner, where we are proud to stock hundreds of homegrown Tasmanian products, supporting Tasmanian farmers and producers. And because we're homegrown, we understand the importance of supporting our local community. So next time you shop, visit your local IGA, because homegrown is better. Visit igatas.com.au to find out more.
Brighton's best Backhouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's best Backhouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's best Backhouse. Love that homemade taste.
Nathan Howard held them in for a long time, Ryan. I wonder what his instructions were there. 40 points down. They do have the breeze.
I think it's don't die wondering. Let's have a crack at this. There's two ways this can go. We can win or we could lose. Let's try and win.
I think the other thing for these individual players is opportunities going forward. They're not in the academies, the coach league, but there's a few kids here that have stood tall. Bowen, Kirby and Penny Hall. There's some real talent sitting underneath some of the other talent programs that exist. Here's one of them that's been fantastic today. Lincoln Penny, back into that chug. Morgan run into some trouble and found his right boot back up to the top. Big fly, James. Burden at ground level, can't win the footy. Scraping it was Woolcock. Hoare at the outside, he'll get to it first. Looks up from 45. There's a lot of height on the ball though. It's going to be a very difficult one to win down. The thump comes through. It's been pinched out by Bailey. Needs to get it over the boundary line, and finally it travels over.
It was like a try there. So some great work as we saw. Yeah, Charlie Morgan just had a couple of quick possessions out of the middle. They moved him into the midfield, and he got his foot on the ball a couple of times just to keep things moving forward. Let's see what the NTJFA can do now as they move the ball up towards the commentary side wing.
Dabner was good. He's gone off half back. Walker, gee, that's an aggressive kick. It's a wonderful kick from Walker. A long time was Reece Penny underneath the footy. Goes out wide to Will Fox. He's had a lot of work to do in the ruck today, Will. He can play. He likes to run, but that's a good pick up. Scooping it off the ground. The only player there, though, is Allen. He's got plenty of time. He's got plenty of support. Chip's good. Burden drops it. Just a bit too high for him. Round one, he had a player in the middle. Decides the longer option is the better option. Chick's got it. He's got a shorter player on. Then here comes the lead. It went a little bit too long over Bailey's head. Then off the ground. Dangerous. The umpire's called a kick on that. Could be 50. No, I don't think it should be. Kick off the ground was fortuitous. Deep in defence. Now, the NTJFA. High ball up. Dabner, best position at the back late. Verney. He's got a player short. Decides, well, it's a strange kick because he could have kicked it straight to James, who was on the outside and could have had a shot on goal, but went a little bit longer.
You're right there. He had a couple of options and just took the short one. Maybe could have. Well, he did the right thing to try and find a teammate. Just found that teammate in the wrong position.
He found the opposition.
Yeah,
if he's on his team. So it's free kick. Oh, I must have missed that one in the ruck contest. Mitchell Finn's going to have a shot on goal from 35 metres out, directly, well, pretty much directly in front, right on our eye line here as well. Martin Duffy zooms in. He survived another cold day on the camera as Finn, his first shot on goal. And it's, well, the pots and pans man, Jared Martindale, said, "Oh yuck." He doesn't very often criticise anything that happens. So it wasn't all yuck. It was, yeah, it was a bit yuck. It wasn't, yeah, it was yuck. All right, fair enough. Ground level. Bowen, what's he doing up there? Get back in the goal square, mate. You've kicked 5. Get a dozen at least. One way from home. The ball scooted out. Hawes in there, dancing around. Now it's been picked up by Allen. Clever play from him. The back's Fox. Has a couple to beat. Bowen's one of them. Held on for a long time. Woolcock on the floor. Out of the pack, Bowen. Don't tell me he's going to kick one from the pocket on the other side. He didn't.
He's still looking dangerous, Bowen, isn't he?
Well, he got up the ground. He was quick on his bike to get back, though, as he was searching for a six-pack in a rep game of footy. Live stream too. I'm sure he'll get back and watch his highlight clips. The ball.
Good to see a stay-at-home forward running up and down the ground.
I watched a bit of the NWFL game, and I called on radio actually a couple of weeks ago. Templeton for the Northwest Place of Penguin. He's old school forward. Takes about 5 steps, kicks ball. He bashes the pack and doesn't leave too much past 40 metres. There's something good about it. Maybe I'm just being nostalgic around what footy used to be like in the olden days. Anyway, we're in the ruck contest. Stuff's good here at the moment. Out ball wide, finds Oliver. He gets pushed off by Bartlett. Now it's back into the contest and it's being held up. It's still ping-ponging around in the contest. Now it's flicked out back wide, and the umpire, somehow amongst all of that, has found someone's shirt being tugged, and the NTJFA have a free. What was your line of attack, Ryan, as a footballer?
I was very, very good on the bench.
So you're good after dark, were you? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yeah, I think you know that sometimes they keep the resis hanging around just
to make sure you come and volunteer at the bar or at the canteen
or to keep bar sales ticking over.
Yeah,
sometimes.
okay, all right, fair enough. You played your role there to keep the club financial. That you did, St Virgil's, did you play for them?
Yeah, had a couple of games there, a couple of good years, met a lot of great people there, and finished off playing Super Rules with Kingston. So Super Rules is more of a social type footy. It's a great type of footy.
Yeah, there's girls comp now in the Masters down south, which is great.
It's fantastic, and just to, you know, it's more of a mental thing. Sometimes you go to training every week, you play every second week, but the people that you meet in your team, they're fantastic, and they're great. You tend to enjoy training more than the games.
Yeah, okay.
I know that I put on more weight playing Super Rules than I ever have.
Okay, well, maybe your training regime needs to be flipped around the other way. But anyway, it's at the back of the back.
It should be.
The Hayes is quick and Dabner's there. He can't juggle. He's back into some mud. He flicks out. In fact, that was McKendrick. A little similar when they run. Chug trying to beat his way through. I don't think he won that battle. And Chug lost a free kick. And there's Hazelwood, who's been one of the best for the NTJFA until that kick. And he did certainly have a player upfield to kick to, but it hit the end of his shoe. Fox taps the ball over the top. Adams back onto it. Fox to ground. He's got to play. Need to go to Walker. He missed him. Now it's rushed forward by the NTJFA up towards Ackroyd. He's very troubled today. He's had a lot of pressure around him. He kicked 3 or 4 in the last rep game. Was close to, he might have been best on ground, but today he's been really well held.
Yeah, the STJFL defended gallantly. They're just not giving anyone any room. The systems and processes that Matthew Grubb's got in place really seem to be working, and it's been giving the back line the best opportunity to give the ball to the forwards and the mids, who are just getting the ball to Jack Barwick, who's kicking goals.
It's a pretty simple message, isn't it? There you go. That's how you do it. Badcock missed it over the boundary line. And now we've got Hazelwood in the ruck. He's going to contend with Triffett. Gets his right hand to it. Kirby through the pack, punches the ball out. Hamilton, though, if the STJFA repels for now. They've got a couple of players that can carry the footy. He went to bounce it, and then he saw the mud and thought, it better not. I might lose it. It might just disappear into the bog. Burden on the lead. He gets the ball to bounce favourably to him. Bit of pressure from Berwick was good. Just held it up. That was great stuff. Another great tackle and another good hold up and a ball up.
Really liking the way the STJFL are running at the ball in layers. They're not getting to the drop of the ball before the ball arrives, so they're keeping everyone on their toes and they're making great use of their space.
There's a group of people just standing behind the fence over there. I'm not sure they've come out of basketball to have a smoke. They've come out to watch the game. 12,000 basketball participants currently in Tassie, and AFL's hit 21 this week. 21,000th participant in AFL. Basketball at 12. It's catching us quick. And there are a lot of them at Elfin today. One of the many facilities that leaks, unfortunately, when there's a westerly. So it's safe today because we've got a southerly blowing. Anyway, on half forward, out towards French. He's got it neatly running out the side as Holmes. His ball's driven up towards half forward. High ball up. Couldn't be taken down by Bartlett. Dabner, Ackroyd. Can he get it? Can he create something for his team? There he comes, Dabner late. Ball's been released. Floating one for Hayes. His head hit the ground. And he took the mark. 55 metres out. He goes to the pocket. Is it going to get over the top? Oh, nearly did. In the end, it hit the turf, held by Graham. Now it's Hazelwood snapping on his right, climbed by Badcock, but he wasn't in front. In fact, that was Bartlett. Similar haircut and a defensive mark by the STJFL. So 8 minutes gone. A score in the goal category for the NTJFA with a slight breeze, which Ryan Kinder's mentioned has been pretty fluky. It's currently southeasterly running at 19 knots or 19 kilometres an hour over the top of Freebooth's head. He's had a tough day against that man on the ground, Barwin, who's done the blot and lot. Now it's popped into the pocket. First is Hoare. He'll get onto it. He can pick it up cleanly. He's going to have a shot on goal. He's got the mouth guard like Seth Curry out the side of his mouth. Pops around one, slides the ball out to the side. There's a player over the back of the pack. Long lead by Oliver. Can't get it. Flicked out the back. On towards Penny. Penny steadies. Penny snaps. Spins up towards the top. Burwin in there. Burden at ground level. Burden over his shoulder. It's still in there and at ground level. That was a little bit too easy. Joe Oliver dops one, and I reckon he thinks he's a bit lucky.
Interesting bit of play there. They just couldn't get the ball over the line, but I'll tell you what, they really look like they're enjoying themselves now, the STJFL. I think they've put this game to bed. As we see Josh Oliver, he extends the jukes, can't quite get in there. James, ball falls free. This man's been great all day. We thought it was going in, just didn't have the depth from where we're sitting. Zach Bowen can't take the grab. That's a lot unlike him today. Ball falls free, and we see Josh Oliver, who's made he probably got his hands to that bit, the footy in the first bit of play, finished the play off.
Jackson Berwick was upset with that play. Then his hands on his knees and on his hips. He looks a little disgruntled as that one didn't play out for him. Graham off half-back. Drives it up. Missed by French. He's also been a bit quiet, which if the STJFL should go back and look at the key players. There's a quick rush ball into the pocket. Hazelwood's got a one-on-one to compete with. So a couple of weeks ago when they played the NTJFL, Brighton, it was those players I've mentioned a bit today. So Will French was phenomenal. Dabner and Ackroyd, they've hardly touched the ball today, so quality work from the STJFL. I'm sure they may have done their homework and watched that footage, but they've been right on top. Chick's been good, got an early goal. He's been lively around the footy, bouncing off half-back is Nicholas. He'll go a second time, and that's a high, and it'll be a free kick.
There's still a little bit in this game. We see just a bit of pushing and shoving. And yes, Peaches, those names that you have mentioned, they have been quiet, but you can see that they've got talent to burn. They just need their time and space, perhaps to be looked after a little bit more by their teammates.
Yep.
But, you know, you mentioned those academies before, and I think as
Zeman with a goal.
From Sandy Bay, they've kicked another one. I tell you, these ground, when our girls run out, our girls from Sandy Bay, they go, this looks a lot like Queenborough. Got that big 100%. Mud pit in the middle.
Yep, the big clog, and the ball, you don't lose the ball down off the hill though, at the west end of the ground like you do at Queenborough. It's got nets, does it?
It's a great way to waste some time if you're in front early. But just as you mentioned, those academies before, these players are knocking at the door of the academies. You've got the Devils Academy, which is producing some great footballers at the moment, and they're putting a lot of work into our youth and into our young guns. And these guys and girls are knocking down the door, and there's a lot of potential that we've seen today.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's obviously players that develop a little bit later. Josh Kirby's probably one of those who I think's developing a little later, and he's been one of the better players. But oh geez, I've been impressed with Hall today and Penny from the STJFL. Their ability around the ball to win stay strong in the context. Parry's there, didn't dispose of it, tapped it over his shoulder. Hayes first to the NTJFA. He's pushed over and he'll get a free kick. That was Lincoln Penny giving that one away. So Hayes to get it forward. It's 4 goals to 11. 23 scoring, or I should say 25 scoring shots. Spinning around is French. Oh, Hazelwood up high, couldn't get it. Dahl on the ground, little snap.
How's the agility from the big fella?
Harrison was great. Jackson gets a goal.
Great, he swooped on the ball beautifully there, just picked it up with one hand, as we see on the IGA replay. Just a little bit of hesitation with this kick. It comes off beautifully. Unfortunately, the chest mark doesn't stick, but that player rectifies himself beautifully. And watch this pick up there. 1, 2, on the boot. Well done.
It's been pretty quiet too today, Jackson Harrison, but that was certainly a highlight for him. What are we looking at there, Duff? Are they barrels of beer?
That's Snowy.
Oh, Snowy. Snowy over there. There he is.
There's Snowy. Give us a wave, Snowy. No. He's concentrating. He's a great man, Snowy. He's looking out. He's one of the trainers for the South. He's absolutely everywhere on Saturdays and Sundays. A great servant of footy.
Walker missed the footy. Couldn't get it. Pinched by Bott. Kicks a little off. Yeah, volunteers critical. Particularly those trainers. They're a little few and far between, unfortunately. They've got a big job at times to do. Hayes at the ground. Hall stands up in the tackle. Then he gets taken down in another tackle. It took 2 of them to get Hall on the ground.
See Chris Morgan in the background just rallying his troops. He would have gone through at least 2 packets of orange slices today. Yeah. Loves them.
That's the key, is it, for him?
Yeah, okay. The orange slices.
Yeah, right. Low ball. Didn't really favour anyone. Bennett's got it. He's then held by Walker. Walker says, no, I'm getting you to the ground. I want to win this battle. And he's been one of the better players.
Still a lot of pride being showed by both teams.
Yeah.
They're proud to wear those jumpers.
And the spirit's been great. Not too much argy-bargy. It's been really well control the emotions out there, and a rep game of footy where you're up against some players you maybe don't know that well, haven't played against before, so great challenge and great test. Finn in the ruck up against Freebooth, who's now come onto the ball. Don't mind him on the footy. It's been dished out. Hoare again. He's creative, isn't he? Onto Adams. Has some time to get it again. Onto Bott. So often receiving a handball. Delivering up high. Great grab. I reckon that's about the 8th or 9th contested mark for the STJFL, and it's Adam Bailey who's got it 25 metres out.
And they've stuck those overhead marks. It's great to see players in these conditions willing to take the game on. I'm going to take an overhead mark. I'm not going to let it fall onto my chest. I'll take that risk as he goes back. The umpire doesn't move too much.
Circle work there with the ball, wasn't it? Bailey kicks his second goal from a good little mark. The hands were involved just to get some space. And the STJFL have got a dozen.
Great. You mentioned the spirit of the game before. Great to see that the umpires haven't paid any 50s for dissent or players talking back to them. They've really got their head in the game, and it's played in, as you mentioned before, Peach, is a great spirit.
One of the things we like is, I actually don't mind the stand the mark rule, because it does sort of make you concentrate and just stand up, argue with the umpiring decision, get stuck into just the next contest. But yeah, terrific work from both groups to get these games going, thanks to the STJFL. 14 games tomorrow, so the blue crew, as we call them, STJFL, the blue coats, I'll be up and about. They'll be here again tomorrow for 14's footy. The ball at the ground, Kirby dishes it away, gets a spot on his right, kicks it up to half forward. There's Harrison, who kicked a goal a couple of minutes ago. Pinched by McKendrick, kicks it into a little bit of area. It's starting to get a little softer, this ground. It's only dried out a little bit as Moy drops it out the side towards Verney. Up the field he goes. Morgan. Moy running past. Had it in his hands, but then it just fell out. And a ball up.
Unlucky there. Could have been paid the free kick, but I think the umpire paid the most consistent decision to bounce to throw the ball up.
Yeah, good umpiring today. Been really impressed as McKendrick takes it over. So 5-2 to 12-14. It's been a dominant last quarter. Just the one goal to the NTJFA through Harrison. The rest of the work is the swirly, inconsistent breeze has just died down a little bit. And the STJFL have been really commanding in these last few moments. Off the ground, Morgan. Ball running past. Here goes Ashton. That's a dangerous ball from Ashton. Berwick for the NTJFA. Tried to win it, couldn't get it, and a free kick to Burton. It's probably too far out. Where is he? Come on, Barwin. Get involved. He's got a lead. Goes to him now. Dropped by Bailey. That was an easy mark as you'd take, and Bailey had literally sat on his chest and popped off.
You could hear I think the disappointment in the crowd as well. They thought, oh, this is an absolute soda, and it's just bounced off his chest. Unlucky, some tired bodies out there. We can forgive them for a lapse in concentration.
Zeman was there, couldn't win it. Rushed out by Woolcock, further afield. Yeah, just kept in by McKendrick. That was good. Nicholas has a time. High ball. Harrison goes past him. Kirby misses it. Hazelwood gets tackled. Did get a handball away in the end to Harrison. Flicks it sideways. Nicholas first to it. Gee, the pressure's still great, isn't it, for the STJFL? Nicholas throwing himself at the footy. Great pressure against. That was a fabulous contest with Moy.
How good was Cameron Nicholas then? Just the second, the third effort. He's not going to go down without a fight.
On the outside is McKendrick. He'll try and get the ball over the top of the handle. He does that. Harrison now. Punchy kick. Hazelwood will have to go back and get it again. So we've gone 8.5. There's 90 seconds left in this representative game at the old home of cricket in the north of the state. 5-2 to 12-14, a commanding lead for the STJFL, who lost 2 years ago, but they've come back and holding the advantage again. We were saying before, Ryan, we need a name for these cups, or not a trophy, is it? There's a shield. I don't think, is it named after anyone, the shield? I feel like it maybe should be.
The first name that comes to my head would be Jim Horn.
Oh, Jim, yeah, it'd be right up there, wouldn't he? Current president the STJFL goes over the boundary line, right in front of the NTJFA mob, who are cooling their heels there on the bench with 40 seconds left in the game to play it out. Kirby still going for his muscle up against Chug at the moment. I think Chug's at times not wish you'd run with him, but he's been near him a lot. McKendrick trying to pick it up. He can't win the footy. STJFL go forward again. Berwick with a rush ball back inside and a long time underneath it. STJFL will finish it off as they'll head forward one more time. Harrison now barrels it forward. Dabner at the back, Ackroyd at the back. Ackroyd dribbles and gets one late. Right in the last seconds. And Cale Ackroyd with a late one for the NTJFA.
Really clever bit of play here. As we see, he just sharks the ball off the pack, drifts into that pocket, puts it on his, across his foot on that right boot, and just dribbles it through for a goal. What a great result for the STJFL today.
Well, STJFL a comprehensive victory. 12-14, 86-6, 2:38. A late goal in the embers of the fire from Cale Ackroyd gave the margin a bit of a shorter tail, but in the end, 12-14 is a comprehensive scoreline to 6-10. 8 scoring shots to 26. We'll just mention the goal kickers. Barwin unable to add to his tally. At three-quarter time, he had 5. He finished with 5. Bailey with a couple, and then some in one goal kickers. Chick got 1. Bott popped in and got 1. Lincoln Penny kicked a ripper. He was really good. And for the NTJFA, just the multiples from Jack Walker. They kicked 6 all up, singles to Penny. Jackson Harrison with a really neat goal in that last quarter. Cale Ackroyd just to the depths also kicked 1 to finish it on the scoreline. 6 goals, 2:38 to 12-14, 86. They ran out of puff. Both teams in the end, a terrific day of footy here. The NTJFA with a commanding victory in the girls' game, although it was tight and tough and wet at times, and the script was flipped for the boys' game with the STJFL coming away with a victory. Some comments to finish off, and then the presentation here on Duff TV.
I think all boys, they all had their moments today, and everyone stood up when they had them. Sometimes things didn't go, the bounce of the ball didn't go your way, but I think the intent there from all the players from both the STJFL and the NTJFA, you know, the intent was there, the octane was there, the high energy was there, and just those chains of possessions just helped the STJFL get the game on their terms, and they managed to keep a hold of it and not to let the Northerners back in, which was really great. We had Josh Oliver did a great job, and of course, how was Ashton Hoare? He did a great job.
Your thoughts on best players for both sides, potentially?
I think Ashton Hoare did a great job for the South, and you know, was Andy Hazelwood really stood up for the North.
I think they're pretty fair calls. So there's a wrap up in this representative game. We're going to go down to the presentations to find out who is in fact the best. I agree. I think Ashton Hoare was the most decisive player on the ground. His ability to drive the ball, get his feet through it. He was involved in the contest. His outside play was fantastic. And the under some adversity was Andy Hazelwood, the captain. He was also equally fantastic. Plenty of other good players were involved with both sides. We hope they took something out of it. Continue to watch the presentation. I've been Aaron Roberts. I've enjoyed your company. We also had Ryan Kinder pop in. Josh Nass was in early today. We had Martin Duffy on the camera and Jerry Martindale, pots and pans. Bye for now.
All right. So thanks everyone for coming along. That was another good game of football. With South coming away just too strong in the end, but yeah, it's really good to see representative football here again at the in the North, and it's a great way for our associations to connect as a state. So I really like to thank everyone involved for making this happen. All of the volunteers, both on the south side and on the north side, the coaches, you know, all the support crew, and everyone else that's been a part of this. The supporters is a good crowd today, so thank you for coming along, and thanks Duff for filming it today. So what I might do is I might actually throw it to the coaches if I could, and I'm going to ask Nathan just to come up and say a few words. Thanks, Nathan.
All right, thanks, Josh. First of all, thanks everyone for coming along, and too good today, South. You actually showed our boys what it's like to work hard. It's probably a reflection of our competition up here, where we've got some real dominant clubs and some that are not up to it, and they probably get away with a bit too much, because once there's a mistake, their teammates going to back them up and win it back. And I think usually we just ran too hard, worked too hard, and played as a team. So thanks very much for coming up. But our boys tried hard. Probably about, we've trained once the last 3 weeks since the last game because of the weather. But thank you for the commitment of you boys, especially the few kids that come up from the East Coast and Scottsdale. It was unbelievable. So thank you for the parents, and hopefully our boys can learn something from it, and hopefully yous do too, and go further on with your footy. I look forward to seeing in the future. But great contest, just too good for us for the day. Yeah.
And Matt.
Thanks very much. Look, we knew NTJFA was got a fantastic reputation, and we came up here, we trained pretty hard, and we knew what we were in for. So thanks, boys, for a great game. To the coaches, parents, obviously we've travelled 2 or 3 hours to be here, so thank you very much, parents, really appreciate it. Again, I think our league down in the south also has a few little teething problems around the separation with the Tassie Devils. I've just got to be careful what I say probably, but I think, as I say, our under-16 comp in South is pretty good, in pretty good nick, and just hope that in the North can replicate that, and we look forward to get back, hopefully get you boys down there, and we'll get back into it again. So, but thanks very much. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Good on you. Okay, so thanks, coaches. And one of the other important components of a game, and we wouldn't have one without them, is our umpires. So thanks heaps for a great call today, guys. And one of the other things our umpires do for us in representative football is they actually pick best on ground. So I have my assistant here, Jess, who's going to tell me who was best on ground for our North. Was 22 Josh Kirby, is it? Yep. Thank you. And for the South, number 11, Lincoln Penny. Okay, we'll get some pictures. Well done, boys. Who's the... Yep. And I'm not too sure who the captain of the South team is, but we... Lincoln, oh, you should have stayed up here, mate, because if you'd like to accept the shield on behalf of the South, so congratulations, well done. Thank you. We'll get a picture with you guys, so boys, if you want to come up and get around it.
A little cut up There's Chick on goal. That looks good. He got it to the right post and he swung it through in the STJFL with a 2 to 3 goal breeze, you think, Ryan, at the moment?
Yeah, it's very, very blustery. So.
It's popped into the hands of Bott, spinning around. That's a good little spot into the pocket. That's a nice little hit-up mark by Barwin, who's going to be very tight with his breeze, Ryan.
He might be able to set it up and let the breeze do the rest of the work, hopefully.
Yeah, we saw Poppy kick an unbelievable goal in the girls' game. Sorry, Pixie, I should say. Pixie Stubby's kicked one. I think we already got it on YouTube. Round the corner he goes. And goals easily.
I'm pretty sure there's a gap. So
Some courageous play there from
Barwin. It is. He's going to pop it up to the top of the square. The STJFL numbers around the ball. And in the end, a comfortable mark. And they're going to have their second direct shot on goal. And they're first in this second quarter.
I was just going to say, great. The STJFL are really trying to play in front there, but we just saw the big fella just slide off the back of the pack. He read it better and took the big grab.
So Barwin, who's kicked a goal, he'll be very deliberate on his approach. I reckon he's got it through. He has. He's got 2. So Zach Barwin with his second of the match. One was a snap from the left pocket. And the games, 2-14 games tomorrow. Fox jumps high. He tried to get it to a running teammate. That's good. Bashed him off. Woolcock got it. Now it's to Kirby. His left boot is delicious usually. Kirby gets the Northerners away with a running left foot bomb from 45 metres. Wonderful handball from the side from Woolcock. And a good start to this. He's got some run to do. First down is Smith. Slips over. Handball over the top. And that's going to be a free kick. It is. I think Walker's got it, has he? He does have a free kick, so sloppy play. But he made the play then, Walker. The handball was good from Nicholas, and he definitely got taken high.
As we can see there, the NTJFA, they just pushed back with real purpose and real venom. And I think the Southerners, they had to land a free kick, because otherwise it was going to be just a goal.
It was Kirby's drive off half back as well, getting that ball forward into some space. You're right, the NTJFA, that once the ball was out the back, the STJFL were in trouble, and Walker was infringed on his shoulder, also was taken across his chest. He'll kick from 25, he'll kick true. And he has a couple of mates just in the grandstand, we can see.
He's given the wind up to the crowd. He's gone, come with me, fellas, come with me.
Jack Walker. It's on to Penny. Great battle across with McKendrick. He goes again. Maybe got hold without the footy. Then gets his head taken off his shoulders and will win a free kick.
Great bit of desperation there. Lincoln Penny from the Kingborough Tigers. Great club down south, the Twin Ovals. He'll be looking to slot this one. Did lose his head nearly.
Didn't he ever?
Yeah.
And he made sure his whole body swung back, but it was a sloppy tackle.
And I know his grandfather's watching. He's not feeling too well at the moment, so if he kicks this one, it might actually get him off the couch.
Oh, that'd be good. Best wishes to Lincoln's grandfather, and that is spot on. Penny deserves a goal. He was the one who made the contest, and it's been held up by McKendrick, who's been one of the more aggressive players. He did have Walker further afield if he wanted to go to the 45. The STJFL just off half forward now. They've got plenty of players lining up for the football. Chick's got it. Short by him. Great kick by Chick. And a juggling grab by Bailey.
That kick to Chick, that really opened the game up, and he measured his kick beautifully. That was into the wind, so he had to keep it low. Look, as we see, come across here, all by himself, takes the chest mark, quick enough to think to play on. There's a bit of space there, and great grab.
This is a tough shot. He's going to have to probably put it a little bit to the left of the middle of the goals. That's good. That's very good. In fact, look, the breeze has dropped down. That is spot on. And the STJFL respond with a of the NTJFA. Walker with space and pace, but eventually gets pulled down into the mud. And he's disappointing at the handball away. Great defence in TJFA. The time's been squashed and they've been able to get it. One of the players has been Hoare. He's right, boots long into the square, and waiting is Barwin, who comfortably takes it and will have a set shot within the opening minutes of the third quarter.
Silky pick up there, finds the running player in Hoare, and he just sends the ball long. I can't understand why they don't have a player on this fella. He's just taken a chest mark at the top of the square, and it looks it looks all like it's going to be beer and Skittles for him. Should be pretty easy, but we never know. He hasn't let us down. He's kicked that goal. Great goal there. What a start. The STJFL would have spoken about that in the rooms, and they've got
into the mud. That's a free kick given away, a hold. Nearly need a cloth out there, the umpires, to get rid of the mud. Like a bowling ball. Scoots down, finds Oliver into the pocket there. Got some players around the footy. Bailey was good. One way, two ways. Steadies the ship, Bot. What a goal! Terrific finish. Stayed on his feet, got some traction in the mud, and delivered a goal.
Get some pats on the back. Well deserved too.
But in defence floating was Nate Clements, who's been a little quiet. He's sort of played a bit up forward, Nate. I think he's not a bad backup. Plays the Tamer Cats. I should say the Tamer Demons. Tamer Cats when I played. Penny in the pack. Gets to 55. Drives it up in the back of the pack. Bowen. Easy as it can be. And another mark in the goal square for this man. And his left boot's going to score. He doesn't even muck around as Bowen kicks his fourth. Walker, he's got a player at the top. He just needs to beat. He can. He's so strong, Walker. Back into the pocket. Might be dabbing it over the back. Unable to take the mark, Hazelwood. Quick shot on goal. Floating underneath and out of the pack for Penny. Reese, the variety. And against the run of play, the NTJFA get their third.
Great kick to open up the ground there. Brought the ball back into the middle, made the STJFL really strain to get there. Ball comes out into the flank, then they kick it back in as we see it here. This possession was crucial. As we go wider to that player, gets caught but manages to stand up through the tackle, composed, ball comes in, nearly a great mark taken, but kind of reefed away, opportunist. We're looking here for that great bounce again, but it didn't. It did happen. It was going through, and then what a pick up there by Reese Penny.
I feel like very much against the run, but it was against the run, but that was their best patch of the day, no doubt. There's Hoare, so often streaming out of the middle. Great kick to Bowen, and he's got it again. And he's spent a lot of time in his pocket. Kendrick gets it back onto his right boot. He goes up towards half forward. It's on the ground to French. At the ball, back out wide towards Badcock. He bashes it high. Walker in the goal square. He just needs to kick it off the ground. He does. Kicks his second goal. It was lucky in the end. But it's been a good 5 minutes here from the Northerners.
Against the run of play there, some great work just to open up some...
Pass up towards half forward, Penny on the outside. Hoare gets to it first. He dashes, dances, gets around Hayes, gets to the pocket. Where's the tall timber? There he is again, and once again he free booth out of position. And Bowen with a very good mark.
Is there a little bit of Tom Hawkins about this fella?
Just stands up tall, doesn't he?
Yep.
And look at the way he just created some space with his body. Gets his fifth goal. What a hole. Pocket. First is Hoare. He'll get onto it. He can pick it up cleanly. He's going to have a shot on goal. He's got the mouth guard like Seth Curry out the side of his mouth. Pops around one. Slides the ball out to the side. There's a player over the back of the pack. Long lead by Oliver. Can't get it. Flicked out the back. On towards Penny. Penny steadies. Penny snaps. Spins up towards the top. Burden in there. Burden at ground level. Burden over his shoulder. It's still in there and at ground level. That was a little bit too easy. Joe Oliver dops one, and I reckon he thinks he's a bit lucky.
Interesting bit of play there. They just couldn't get the ball over the line, but there's still a little bit in this game. We see just a bit of pushing and shoving. And yes, Peaches, those names that you have mentioned, they have been quiet, but you can see that they've got talent to burn. They just need their time and space, perhaps to be looked after a little bit more by their teammates.
Yep.
But, you know, you mentioned those academies before, and I think as
Zeman with a goal.
From Sandy Bay, they've kicked another one. I tell you, these grounds, when our girls run out, our girls from Sandy Bay, they go, this looks a lot like Queenborough. Got that big
100%.
mud pit in it.
Lincoln Penny giving that one away. So Hayes to get it forward. It's 4 goals to 11. 23 scoring, or I should say 25 scoring shots. Spinning around is French. Oh, Hazelwood up high, couldn't get it. Dahl on the ground, little snap.
How's the agility from the big fella?
Harrison was great. Jackson gets a goal.
Great, he swooped on the ball beautifully there, just picked it up with one hand, as we see on the IGA replay.
Know that well, haven't played against before, so great challenge and great test. Finn in the ruck up against Freebooth, who's now come onto the ball. Don't mind him on the footy. It's been dished out. Hoare again. He's creative. His knee onto Adams, has some time to get it again onto Bott. So often receiving a handball, delivering it up high. Great grab. I reckon that's about the 8th or 9th contested mark for the STJFL, and it's Adam Bailey who's got it 25 metres out.
And they've stuck those overhead marks. It's great to see players in these conditions willing to take the game on. I'm going to take an overhead mark. I'm not going to let it fall onto my chest. I'll take that risk as he goes back. The umpire doesn't move too much.
Circle work there with the ball, wasn't it? Bailey kicks his second. Berwick with a rush ball back inside and a long time underneath it. STJFL will finish it off as they'll head forward one more time. Harrison now barrels it forward. Dabner at the back, Ackroyd at the back. Ackroyd dribbles and gets one late. Right in the last seconds. And Cale Ackroyd with a late one for the NTJFA.
Really clever bit of play here. As we see, he just sharks the ball off the pack, drifts into that pocket, puts it on across his foot on that right boot, and just dribbles it through for a goal. What a great result for the STJFL today.
Well, STJFL a comprehensive victory. 12-14, 86-6, 238. A late goal in the end.